Hey guys, Jack here for part 3 of our little 30-second note linear pattern, halftime linear pattern. In the first video, we checked out the basic pattern, which was this. In the second video, we checked out moving the right hand around the toms, re-orchestrating to get some interesting variations and see how it sounds different when you move it around, things like this. Right? This time, we're moving the left hand around. Okay, so I'm not thinking so much in terms of ghosting anymore. That's the first thing that I'll say. When we're playing it on the snare, because it's the same sound, of course, we're going for a lot of dynamics. Of course, you're going for dynamics, but because we're now going to be moving the left hand around the toms, I'm not going to be ghosting them as much because we're really not going to hear the toms a whole lot if we do. So this is just the way that I like to hear it. I'm going to bring the volume up a little bit. Once again, the pattern is exactly the same. I've not changed the sticking at all, the sequence, the order of things. That's all exactly the same. But now we're going to move left hand around the first and the second tom. Right hand's still going to stay over here on the cowbell. All right. So the pattern is now this. All right, a little faster. Okay, so you can see that twice I do a double here and then a double there. Okay, we're doing later on in the bar. Okay, so that's the first thing, is make sure that your left hand can actually produce a double on toms. A couple of things. Often, the majority of people on the planet are still right-handed, and so oftentimes with drum kit, the left hand is the weaker hand. And yet when we play on toms typically, certainly as we go further down the drums, they often don't have the same amount of rebound because the skins can often be slacker than a snare drum. A snare drum gives you a lot of rebound, so you might have really good technique at controlling these tiny little ghost notes and whatnot on a surface that's quite bouncy. And then you move onto these toms and they don't give you as much rebound necessarily. You might find that you really need to work a bit harder with the wrist or snapping the fingers just to produce the articulation of the strokes. Okay, if you're just getting sort of like the bounce method or something, you're going to really want to work on those notes individually. Okay, let's check it out a beat at a time like we have been doing. So beat 1 would be this: bass drum and cowbell on beat 1, and then you're going to play E and, so the second and the third 16th of beat 1 with the left hand on first tom, then the cowbell on 1 E and the fourth 16th of 1. So we have this: 1 E and all right. Then straight away you're going to move left hand onto second tom and you're going to play that left lead double stroke. So that's 2 E and All right. So far we've got this. 1, let's land that together. 1 E and 2 E and Then we've got to bring the arm back. We're going to play beat 3. Right, so we've got, again, this is the left paradiddle, left, right, left, left. So we have snare as an accent, so I'm rim shotting. Cowbell on 3E, and then all right. So far we've got this: 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and then 4, again, move the left hand across. We're going to have 4 E and 1. Right, 4 E and 1. So all up we have this nice and slow: 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Bit quicker now. And the way that I like to do it is put a little bit of an accent on the second of each of the doubles. All right, that gives a little bit of shape to what I'm doing, so it's not just all the same volume with the left hand, because it can sound a little bit monotonous and monodynamic if there's no dynamic contrast even in each separate limb. All right, that's irrespective of the actual dynamic you're playing. You're playing double F, you're playing double P, or whatever. All right, so that'd sound more like this. Right, instead of where it's all just like a bit overkill, right? You got to have dynamics. So we have this. So there you go. That's 3 lessons, core pattern in lesson 1, moving the right hand around in lesson 2, and now in today's video, moving the left hand around. You can see, if you've watched all 3 videos, check them out if you haven't, you can see that, of course, it's the same pattern, we can hear that, but they do sound pretty different. When you're moving the right hand around, that gives it one kind of flavor, and you move the left hand around, that gives it a whole separate kind of flavor to it. So there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed the patterns. If you want to learn more, if you want the full course on this stuff, and you want the on-screen notation, easy beats, PDFs, play-along tracks, and of course all the other grooves in the original Versatile video, check out the Versatile Drummer package, and we will see you in the next video. Take it easy.